Hey, brother.
Peace, love, light, and healing to you, good brother.
Peace, brother. Peace, family. Hey, great to finally meet you on here.
Man, great to meet you. I was just watching your video from the Pranic World Festival about a month ago, so this is pretty cool to be talking with you in real time.
Oh, awesome, man. You were going in the archives.
Oh yeah. I'm doing my research, man. You got to take in as much as possible to know where you know how to implement it in your own life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like you say on your page, let's say that you're a student of life.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm
Hmm.
just trying to learn as much, and people like yourself are paving the way. So I'm just trying to be possible and take information that can benefit me the most. You know.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely agree. There's so much that we can learn from others, and everyone in life is our teacher in a way. People can teach us what to do, what not to do. And let me make sure that the connection is coming in strong. Is the connection okay for you right now? Is the
Okay, you're
connect
back.
is the connection all right now?
Yeah, you're back. You were uploading for a second.
Yeah, it
Refresh now.
seems it seems a little fuzzy at the moment. Let me make sure. We'll give it a couple seconds.
I might have too much organite and scalar around. I might have to move some pyramids.
It's a lot of energy up in there.
Man, I'm surrounded by organite pyramids. So I might have to move some up to the other room or something.
Let let's see what happens. Let's see if it makes something shake.
Okay.
Let's see. But I can hear you. I know I can hear you.
Okay. You can't hear me at all. I mean, see me at all right now?
It's a little fuzzy. It's coming in a little better. Let me see if anybody in the comments can hear and see. Can y'all hear and see us right now? We're just wondering. Just making sure it's coming in clear. Drop a comment right now if you can hear us and see us. Okay, Carly says feels good now. Okay. All right, cool. All right, I guess we're in the clear. Can see and hear. Okay, perfect, perfect. So, brother, how's the day been going? Hey, great Tuesday to you. It's a Tuesday, Tuesday.
Man, it's a beautiful day. I started feeling the energy yesterday, last night, to tell you the truth, man. It's just summer.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just been a beautiful day. Had a great rising, grounded out really. Just got back from like a 2 hour walk and hit the sauna and the steam room and the hot tub this morning just to start detoxing, you know. So feeling pretty charged up right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah, I seen you, bro. I seen you out there in the sunlight. You said you were talking about the vitamin D3 deficiency. You were
Yeah,
talking about grounding into the earth. And what I thought was cool is, of course, you got the locks, you locking in the information, right? You got the pyridine, the energy of the pyramid. Then
yeah.
you had some tensor rings on you. And then you had the Rajaksha beads, the Rajaksha seeds, the malas. And I was like, yo, this dude
Yeah.
is energied out. You pushing P out here.
Hey, I'm just trying to use the tools available, man, to feel as good as possible, you know. And I've been feeling better and better, and just exchanging energy with people like yourself. It just keep raising my vibration. So I'm just having a beautiful day, man, and a beautiful life, man. I'm just happy to be here, man.
Yeah. So, Liseli, what's one of the tools that you utilize that has really had some of the most profound impact on you, your energy, on your own cultivation, your own health journey?
Just really the mindset, man. It truly starts with the thought process.
Okay.
If you believe it, you can achieve it, man. Everything mind over matter.
Mhm.
But turning a negative thought, well, one, observing your thoughts and knowing which thoughts are yours and which aren't yours, because your brain
Mhm.
could catch thoughts out of the ether and it could come from anywhere.
Mhm.
It's truly, if you have a negative thought, especially about yourself, turn that to a positive. You know, just always know that you're alchemists. We're all alchemists. But the
Right.
first alchemy is changing a negative thought into a positive thought, and just having a true positive outlook on life and truly being happy with whatever situation and environment you're in. Just creating that peace, and just like a golden bubble around yourself, and letting nobody penetrate that or nothing. We all
Mhm.
gonna have stressors and anxiety and different triggers throughout the day, So it's not trying to really curtail or mitigate those too much, but how do you respond once you feel that chemistry change and there's certain emotions and feelings inside of you? Once you learn how to do that, nobody can upset you or get you out of alignment from your own self. So that's one thing I tell people, man. If your mindset isn't right, you can meditate all day, you could go outside, get the sunlight, but if you have a negative mindset, and we all know people who always negative, we go around and we feel drained, and we don't really know why. It's because they have a negative mindset, and misery love company. That's the saying for a reason. So people really have to understand it all starts in your mind, and you truly have to want to take the necessary steps to be a positive person and always be positive and give love unconditionally. You can't have conditions on giving your love out, because a lot of times people move and they're animated by fear. If I give too much of myself, it might not be reciprocated, so I'm not going to give that much. You have to give your love unconditionally and truly know that if you give the love out, it's going to come back to you tenfold.
Always, always. What goes around comes around. You're right.
Yes, sir. Black Airbender said the breath, your exhale comes out and it comes back to you in 3 to 4 days. So you gotta know what you're putting out in the world, because it's definitely coming back to you.
Yeah. Man, Liseli, thank you for that message on mindset, because that's a powerful message today. My brother used to tell me, you got to have the mindset to get your grind set.
Yeah.
That's what he used to say.
It's true, man. It's true. And sometimes we have to learn to separate ourselves from people who just aren't at the right time in their own path to change. Or if you have negative people around you, you might have to love them from a distance. I'm not saying you can't deal with them. You might have to just cut back. You might have to not talk to them 4 or 5 times a week. Maybe it's only once or twice. So we just have to really observe the people around us and our environments, and to start to make serious changes if you're really trying to ascend and become a new you, your higher self.
Right. So you're saying there's power in proximity as well.
Oh, of course. I mean, you can be as strong as you want, but if you're surrounded by negative people, some of that is going to rub off on you, and your subconscious picks up everything. So if you're in a deep, dark place around people who aren't giving love and sharing love, your subconscious is taking that in, and sometimes it can be an overload. That's like everybody goes to Disneyland and they're happy because it's a nice, bright place. Everybody's happy and smiling. Energy is transferable, man. So you really have to understand what you're putting yourself into and where you're going. Like, I don't go certain places anymore. I don't go to clubs and the bars like that too much anymore. I don't go if certain people are going certain places, I don't go. I don't go to super large crowds and certain events because I know certain energies are going to be there. Like, we have to be real-time alchemists and understand that everything is frequency, energy, and vibration, and that's very serious. And we say that, but some people really don't understand what that means. But you really have to protect your energy and see who you really allow, especially close to you. And watch out for energy vampires. People who like to touch you all the time out the blue and stuff like that. That's very real. Like, energy vampires will come and try to take your energy. They will try to anger you to get you upset and out of alignment just so that they take some of your energy. And those people will go off and be having a great day after that. You're all upset thinking about a certain situation. So we have to be very cognizant and mitigate a lot of the people that we entertain.
Right. So being able to have that spirit of discernment and understand who's around you, the power of proximity, that environment is so crucial.
Yes.
Man, so I'm getting Nikola Tesla vibes from you right now, the energy, frequency, and vibration.
I love Tesla, man. I was just used the multi wave oscillator powered by a Tesla coil in Miami last week. So, and we played with a few 0-point energy machines. So it was, yeah, man. I'm a student of Tesla. I do a lot of things with 3, 6, and 9. I might say a mantra 3, 6 times, 3, 6, and 9 times. Breath work 3, 6, 9. I do everything. I try to do it with the 3, 6, and 9 somewhere in there, just to tap into that unknown and that quantum world.
Powerful, bro. So that wasn't just you working with tools and that energy, but also going along with the environment and the company that we keep. You're saying that it's important to you today to place yourself in the right energetic environment to be even more effective, for that efficiency, for that level of efficiency to be effective in that environment. Yeah.
Correct. Because I mean, we spend a lot of time, and I know you do as well, because I've watched some of your videos, and we cultivate a lot of energy. You don't want to go around and just losing that energy if you don't have to, because then you have to, you might even start to doubt yourself. Like, I built all this energy. What happened to it? Why am I feeling down all of a sudden? Why do I have to go do some more qigong? Why do I got to do some more yoga? And cultivate some more energy. And people, even through sex, people can tie energetic cords to you and be siphoning your energy, long distance. So all these things are very real. I had to find out some of these things the hard way, to tell you the truth. But we all live and you learn, but you really have to protect your energy. But the more you raise your vibration, your vibe is gonna attract your tribe. Like I was watching your videos a few months ago and last month, and now I'm talking to you. That's only because I raised my vibratory rate to yours, and we're in the same frequency, So I'm having conversations like this every day now, because of my vibration and my frequency. So that's why people, especially for people who are very sensitive, you can't fake the energy, man. It's either there or it's not. And people can only put up a facade and persona for so long. But true energy, it doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be boisterous. It doesn't have to be seen. It's felt. When you walk in a room, when I walk in rooms now, people they look around like, what is that? They feel that magnetism. And that's what we really cultivate in the building, man. And that's why things like this are very beautiful, just to let people understand that we are out here doing the real work. And it's very real. And it's not easy, man. We putting in a lot of hours and a lot of time, spending a lot of money, doing research, having consultations, taking trips to certain places to get certain energy. So we can't just, give that away to people who aren't deserving or truly don't understand the path that we're on.
I agree, brother. It's like you say, your energy, it announces your arrival. Your energy speaks before you do. So people can feel it and they receive it. Yeah.
Yes.
So when you talked before, you touched a little bit on something. You said that when it came to energy and all these things, you had to learn the hard way. So what was that hard way that you kind of speak of that you had to learn?
Oh man, before I became Reiki attuned, I was getting, Reiki energy healing done. And in one or two of my sessions, I was told that I had some energetic cords tied to me from one or two of my sexual partners, and that they were literally siphoning my energy from me.
And they
did not have to be next to me from a distance.
Whoa.
And I was questioning my own self because, I'm doing the energy cultivation and everything in my same daily routine, but I was feeling sluggish and lethargic and, not really myself and not really understanding why. And it took up to that point for that to happen and tell me that, somebody had an energetic cord tied to me. And I was like, oh, so we really have to understand who we share our bodies with, because these were spiritual people, but they were hiding behind the veil of spirituality to slide in and then do demonic things, as far as I'm concerned. So
is that what they call succubus energy?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So I mean, it's even to the point where I've had interactions with people, and I've seen demonic spirits in their actual aura, and if their face kind of shape shifts a little bit, and you can kind of see it if you had a high enough vibratory rate, you see into it. So everybody is not what they seem to be, and we have to ask penetrating questions. We have to actually know who we're spending time with, but you also have to not cross your own boundaries. In both of those cases, I went past boundaries I said I would not go past anymore, just to just to deal with a certain person. Their vibe was a certain way, and I saw certain red flags, but I said, okay, maybe I'm being a little bit, over analytical. It's okay. Well, let's continue to build and share space with this person. Every time you go cross one of your boundaries, now you are just you're in no man's land. Anything can happen to you because you're not being true to yourself. You're not loving yourself when you don't stick to your own boundaries. We a lot of times we don't have a problem telling other people no, but a lot of times the hardest person to tell no is yourself because of hedonism, anything, you know, just trying to have new experiences sometimes. But we really have to stick to our boundaries and be patient with ourselves and know that everything that we want is going to be drawn to us and attract to us. And we just need to be patient with ourselves and take it slow. This is an over life thing. We're going to be cultivating energy for the rest of our life. And then once we leave this round, we're going to the next one and continue. So just take it easy. Be gentle with yourself. And don't try to bypass. I see a lot of people trying to bypass jumping from, you know, level 1 all the way to, you know, breatharianism, level 10 or something like that, you know, but you have to take every step because there are a lot of books that talk about, you know, different gurus and mystics that actually harm themselves and harm their internal organs by bringing too much energy in the body too fast because they bypass certain steps. You have to let your body get acclimated to, you know, certain levels of energy. Even to this day, I still have days where I cultivate so much energy, it's almost uncomfortable. So I have to go sit and meditate with that, you know, go out, walk, ground a little bit, bring myself back down. But it's very, you know, energy cultivation is very serious. But people, and the more you cultivate your own energy, you're going to start shining and emitting your light more and more. And that's not only going to attract good people, it's going to attract negative entities as well because they don't want to see you, you know, ascending. They want to keep you down here locked in this 3D and reincarnating at their will, not your own. So we have to be, like I said, cognizant of everything, man. Just be more observant, be more aware. Everything around you at every moment. You can't take time off. There's no cheat days in spirituality. You can't do that. You can't revert back to your own self. But once you reach a certain level, like Dick Gregory said, once you put certain glasses on, you can't take them off. You see the world for what it is now. And I don't want to take these glasses off because I'm seeing a beautiful thing.
I see it, man. I feel it. I feel it coming off of you, brother. So, you know, speaking of those glasses, it's kind of like going back to what you said. So there was a time when this succubus energy was around you. These energy cords were being tied to you. And we often, sometimes we're in those types of relationships. We have on those rose-colored glasses, and we don't notice all the red flags. You know, we don't see them. But when did that point come when you were finally able to see that, and you were finally able to break off and make that change?
It actually happened pretty naturally. I parted ways with these people naturally. You know, we just, you know, sometimes you just don't talk to somebody for a week, and then it turns to 2 weeks, and then you get busy, and they don't become a priority. You know, you kind of get back on your path. I want to say that was a little excursion off the path, possibly, but if you're on your purpose, people are going to fall away from you naturally who aren't supposed to be in your environment and in your aura. And I know you know this. I mean, I've had family members, you know, that people don't know how to handle the new you. They want you to be who they picture you in their head. So when you change yourself, and another thing, it's a little bit of resentment as well. Like, how dare this person change themselves and become better while they're still quote unquote stuck in their old ways and their old selves. So I've lost friends, I've lost family members, you know, people who I really thought would understand, you know, my transition and my ascension. They just don't. And they fall away naturally. So you don't have to worry about, you know, be observant of who's around you, but people who have a lower vibration, they're going to fall away just naturally. So you don't even have to really technically worry about that. But it happened naturally, me splitting away from those ones.
Yeah, I agree. It's happened to me too. You know, I can resonate on a lot of levels where people will just exit stage right. You know, they'll just take their leave whenever you go someplace or you get to a different space, and they don't see themselves in that space. They don't see themselves continuing. And oftentimes, whenever I wanted to take people with me, I didn't realize that the door was for me to walk through. You know, it wasn't for me to try and save somebody or try to walk their walk, because everyone is on their own path. Everyone is walking their own walk. So, like you're saying, Liseli, the energy not only attracts, but it also repels at the same time.
Our body has a torus field, man. We have a positive and a negative. coming out the top and the bottom, just like the earth. So the universe, it don't make no mistakes. We're designed a certain way. And when we truly go in and do the inner work, everything else takes, you are the main star in your own movie. That's the only thing that matters. You create your reality. Your higher self is in another dimension projecting through this avatar body. Everything is light codes. Your eye, light is a code. It comes into your retina, goes to the brain, and it deciphers it, and then it projects out what the codes are. So everything is going to happen in divine order. So you should, the biggest thing, like you said, when I first started on this path, you know, I would find out things and I would be so excited about it, and I would go to tell people about it, and you wouldn't feel the same reciprocal energy. So I learned very early on, like, oh, I can't tell everything about everything I'm learning to everybody because they don't care. And I was that way too. And that's why I have so much compassion and empathy with people, because I started on this path because I had to have a surgery in 2017, and the doctor basically told me I couldn't eat any more meat, I couldn't eat any more dairy, cut back on the complex carbs and the starches. So I got pushed off a cliff. Like, my whole self is an asshole. Like, if I don't do certain things, I get pushed off a cliff into my next phase of my life. So once my diet started to lighten up throughout the years, you know, my brain, I literally tell people my brain started to unlock. I could feel my synapses firing at higher rates. You know, new neural connections were being made. And I actually start to see and observe this world in a totally different light. Now, I've always been someone who questioned almost everything in front of me. But once my diet started to get lighter and I started, you know, meditating and truly going within, everything without started to change. So when you start to feel that, you can't stop. There's no way you can stop.
Man, that kind of, wow, you went through a whole transformation.
Yeah.
Transformation on all levels, on the full spectrum, full go. So Liseli, you're saying you came to the point where it was do or die.
Oh yeah. My doctor told me if I continued to eat, because I have a very high metabolism rate. I've always had high energy. So just from eating, you know, the meat and the starches, it was tearing up, you know, my transverse colon and everything. So I couldn't, and I wouldn't eat enough fruits and vegetables, so I wouldn't get enough good fiber in, you know, to help out with that. So the doctor told me, you know, and that's why I have sympathy for everyone, but I don't understand when people don't listen to their doctor's orders. Like, my doctor told me I was going to have a surgery. And the thing was about the surgery, I had surgery. It went fine, but the oxycodone they gave me after the surgery shut my bowels down. So I actually was in the hospital for 2.5 months after the surgery. I almost died because the oxycodone shut my bowels down, so nothing could go out. Everything started coming up.
Wow.
So I'm not trying to ever deal with anything like that again in my life. So I lightened up.
What was that like? Like, what was that like in that situation?
Tell you the truth, I wasn't necessarily scared. I've always known that everything kind of happens for a reason. I couldn't comprehend it at the moment, but I kind of knew my body was going through a pretty big change. Anytime I'm in the hospital, it's truly something that happened mental first.
Okay.
And then it comes into the physical. So I always know that if it's a situation like that, it started up here first. So I've been saying I'm going to grow old since I was a very, very young child. So I know nothing, I'm divinely protected. Nothing's going to take me out of this world before it's time for me to go. I have too much to give to this world. So I just stuck with it. And the day before I got discharged, 2 days before I got discharged, they were going to put a feeding tube in me because I was only getting IV and food to the IV, and I was losing so much weight. I'm already not a large person. And then the second they told me they were going to put a feeding tube in me, I kept food down that next meal they brought me.
Wow.
So my bowels woke up like that. So it was literally just like a timeout for me to really have some time to myself and assimilate and understand what was going on and the transitions I need to take in my life. So listen to your body, people. But like I said previously, it all starts in the mind. Negative thoughts, you might get rid of them in your head, but if they stay there too long, they're going to manifest into your body. So be very careful about what you think and we think food is the only energy and ingestion we take in. It's the music you listen to. It's what you watching. It's the people you hang around. It's the environment you in. What's coming through your pores. What you breathing in. All of these things matter, like in a very, very serious way. And once I understood that, man, I've just been taking off ever since.
Yeah, man, that is so powerful, bro. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that experience, like that testimony. I know that touched me, and I know it's got to touch somebody else who hears about that. And you're right. I totally agree about everything that comes into our pores is affecting us on some level, because our pores are like portals. You know? We talk about the 222, that's a portal, but our pores are portals as well.
Yes.
So everything that's coming in from all angles, you know, so just being mindful, being with more awareness. So my goodness, you made it out of that situation. And you said that something clicked whenever they told you that they were about to do something. Like you said, mentally you shifted, you went to another place, and that's when you held it down.
Oh yeah. I mean, I literally, it was mental, but I felt it in my body. As soon as they said they're about to put a feeding tube in me, my body was like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
It was almost like, we're gonna take you right to the edge, but that's enough. And then I came back to full health in like a week right after that. Of course, I had to, you know, work and put weight back on and stuff, but I think I lost like 25, 30 pounds or something like that while, you know, over that 2.5 month period while I was in the hospital. So.
Man, Liseli, from the mental to the physical, from the cause to the effect, like everything counts.
Every last thing, every thought, and like the Black Airbender say, every breath counts. You have to be conscious with every breath that you take, every inhale, every exhale. With every inhale, I'm accepting more life and gratitude, love. Every exhale, I'm giving it back out.
Yes, that breath Tao, the breath consciousness, man. I love the breath family. I love the sayings. I love just the, you know, that sage wisdom that you can get from that. And like he always says, like the breath is still teaching us to this very day. You know?
Every breath.
So, brother, you know, Liseli, earlier you were talking about the light codes and how the light codes come in through our eyes. And I remember seeing you earlier when you were walking out in the sunlight talking about the vitamin D3 deficiency and how there are certain chemical reactions that go off, and we need at least like 2 hours of sunlight, you were saying. Can you talk about that?
Oh yeah, I mean, vitamin D3 is one of the most important vital minerals that we need to take into our body. We need every mineral that we're supposed to take for our bodies to operate at its optimal level. So if you're missing one vital mineral, you don't know how many, it's a cascading effect. You don't know how many other chemical reactions you're stopping downstream because you don't have this one mineral. And vitamin D3 has been proven to cause depression, anxiety, stress, a whole host of things. People just go YouTube vitamin D3 and deficiencies. Every doctor in America will tell you that, especially, we don't have enough sun in North America, especially during the winter time, to get the UVB, especially the UVC that we need. You get UVA, UVB, and UVC from the sun. You need all three of those. That's why they call it vitamin D3, to make a lot of the chemical reactions in your brain and throughout your body work. So if you're not getting that, you need to take certain supplements, like vitamin D3 supplements. Your doctor will write a prescription for this, and other people have vitamin D3 supplements as well. I take vitamin D3 supplements. So if the sun isn't out, I don't get enough sunlight, I take vitamin D3 supplements. So, but just getting out in the sun, it charges you up, man. I don't know everybody goes to the beach, they feel amazing. Why? You in the sun all day. You getting those light codes. Light is information. It's telling your body what to do, how to do. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. That's where you take in the most light. So you need to get outside with as least amount of clothes on as possible, so that you can actually feel like your normal self. People are not operating to their full capacity because they don't have the vital minerals to actually operate. It's like operating at a half capacity, 75%, something like that. So yeah, man, vitamin D3 is vitally important. But all vital minerals are very important to the body. and a lot of people, we don't take in vital minerals. So, and the food is not what it used to be. The soil isn't what it used to be. So we have to be very proactive in building our bodies up, taking the herbs, detoxing, and then rebuilding the cells and giving them what they need so that they can keep us healthy and alive, you know?
Man. So encouraging that, understanding that you said it's D3. So D3 is the trifecta. You said it's the UVB, UV what? What was the other one?
UVA, UVB, and UVC.
And that's the D3.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in the tropics, man. We'll be getting sunlight, you know, year round. So when, especially like the further north you go away from the equator, you're not getting the appropriate amount of sunlight. So you have to take vitamin D3 supplements, man, to supplement that. So anytime it's a cloudy day outside, or I work shift work, so I work days and nights. If I'm asleep all day and I don't get my vitamin, you know, my vitamin D, I take my supplements. But that's why sun gazing is a beautiful thing to do. You're taking in light codes and you're getting your vitamin D3 every day, and you're charging yourself up, man. Most days when I wake up, I sun gaze, I ground, I meditate, do my qigong, my yoga, some Pilates or something. You know, go detox in the hot tub in the steam room. That's your food right there. That's your sustenance. You don't really even need anything past that. If you're cultivating enough energy and you're doing what you need to do, and you're taking in the breath, because the breath, the oxygen, I mean, the air is only 20.8% oxygen. Everything else is all the other elements that you need for your body to build itself and operate and run on. So that's all I'm just trying to show people. Optimize your body and your health and your food intake, and you'll be amazed at what happens and the changes you see within yourself and your life.
Yeah, and it also sounds like flowing with nature and not against it. You
Correct.
know? Flowing with that. Nature has its own rhythm, and when we're flowing in sync with the rhythm of nature, when we're in harmony with that, you know, we're allowing ourselves to be in that alignment. You know, we're aligning ourselves with the things that are hitting us all the time. Like the cosmic forces, the energy is hitting everybody, but some people are picking it up and the other people are, you know, they're putting it down. So when it comes to receiving that energy through the eyes, sun gazing, when did sun gazing come into your life, and how has that played a role in your development?
Oh man, I want to say about 2018, I started sun gazing, you know, just going down certain rabbit holes. You know, you listen to different people, you know, who are already on the path, and they tell you different modalities to use. And I'm the type of person, you know, I do a little research on it, but I gotta see if it, you know, if it resonates with me and it helps with me. And one thing I noticed before that time frame was my night vision was getting very, very bad when I was driving. Like I'm talking about the astigmatism. I was getting blinded by lights. I couldn't see the lane lines. I was literally about to go to the optometrist and get some glasses just for driving at night. Fast forward, I start sun gazing. My eyesight is amazing now. Like I don't have those problems anymore. I can see further than I've ever seen before. You know, I'm seeing clearly, and I don't have astigmatism at night anymore. The lights are, well, some of these LEDs are just evil as far as I'm concerned, because they're brighter than the sun. So I think that's a whole other topic. But
yeah, that's a whole other one.
It's ridiculous, man. These LEDs are they're not natural. They're not from Yahweh at all. But sun gazing, it's multifaceted. One, you're taking in light, so you're literally charging your body up. You're getting the vitamin D3. You're as far as I'm concerned, you're healing yourself. You're charging yourself up. But also, it's like a meditation, man. You're just taking time out for yourself. You're showing love to yourself. You're putting yourself before anything else. And once, just even that intention in itself is going to bring more health and harmony to the body. But we need, especially melanated people. A lot of melanated people think that because they're melanated, they don't need that much sunlight. It's actually the inverse. You need more because the sun has to get through more pigment. So 2 hours a day, man. I mean, I know it's hard, and I'm not saying, look, nobody's perfect. I don't get 2 hours every day, but I try my best. On my off days, I get more than 2 hours of sunlight. So it's just being, like I said, being very proactive about your health. And if you can sit down and watch Netflix for 2 or 3 hours, you go take a 30-minute or hour walk outside and get some sun and put your feet in the grass, man. So
Come
It
on
just
now. Come on now. Somebody had to say it, bro. Somebody had to.
like I don't watch TV that much anymore. I don't play video games. You know, I don't do certain things anymore because I don't have the time. Like today, I'm running out of time to do all my meditations today. Like I'm gonna get them done though, but everything else is gonna get pushed to the side. I got called to go take a 2-hour walk right before this, so I had to push my yoga and qigong back till later on the day. But I feel amazing right now. This bill right here is giving me energy. I'm on a fast right now. I don't know when it's gonna stop, but I'm not thinking about food right now. And that's all you need in life, man, is yourself. And we just really have to understand that we have to stop looking outside of ourselves for external forces to make us feel any kind of way. Because once you do that, that's going to lead you to be disappointed because the world is full of disappointments. But if you're doing the inner work and you know who you are on the inside, you're ready for disappointments. And you're not going to let it upset you or get you out of alignment. And if it does for a little bit, you're going to get right back in. Take a deep breath. Woosah a little bit, and you're going to be fine. Everything's going to be all right. We all going to be all right, man.
It's like you said, progress, not perfection.
Yes.
Yeah. We're still making progress. If you see the sun peeking out, you can go and grab it. Grab it while you can. Come get it while it's hot.
Yeah.
So, Brother Liseli, so are you saying that your vision was in the decline? You were having trouble with the night vision, and you were just about to go to the optometrist to see what was going on. And then when you started looking into the sun gazing, your eyesight got better?
100%. And people don't have to believe me. And that's something I tell people too. Don't believe nothing I say. Take what I say, go do your research. Try it for yourself. Try it for yourself and see, man. Yeah. But another thing a lot of people don't like to talk about is with their eyesight, it could also be mucus built up around your optic nerve or something from the acidic food we're eating and not getting out of our body, draining through the lymphatic system and the lymphatic system out of your head. That's a big part of it too. So when I started sun gazing, that's when my diet was lightening up as well. So I was draining all type of mucus out of my lymphatic system, out of my head, out of my lymphatic system, out of my body. So another thing I want to tell people is like we're being bombarded from every angle in this world. So you have to combat back from every angle. I meditate, I do yoga, I do Pilates, I go walking, I run, I get in the steam room, I research, I sun gaze. I do all of these things. I use all these tools because we have to. We're getting beat up from every angle, man. And we have the technology to combat this stuff. So we really have to just, like I said, be proactive about it. And everybody spends their time where they want to.
Yeah.
Do you love yourself enough to spend your time on you and be a little bit more selfish? And you can't help people and be your higher self and help the people around you if you're not in alignment with yourself.
I agree.
So people just have to go within and really see what resonates with them and see the steps they need to take. But if you continue on the path, things are gonna come to you. Like I said, I go down rabbit holes and then I find a new modality or something I can try out and it works out for me.
Right.
But if I would have never taken the step to actually go out and look into the information, that would have never happened.
Right.
Nobody's gonna spoon feed you anything, especially in spirituality, because I know you get this a lot. People will come and ask for your help, and you tell them things, you give them little breadcrumbs, and then you see them again. You're like, "Hey man, did you try that?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, man, I ain't had the time. I'll get to it." And you just like, "Oh, okay, I understand now. You're not ready yet." So that's perfectly fine. But nobody's gonna spoon feed you in the spirituality world. Yeah. And if they do, they might not be who they say they are. I'm just gonna say
that. I like how you threw that in there.
Hey.
So Liseli, when you're talking about how your meditation is not only kind of the foundation, but you also have meditation and you form through integration. So you built a lifestyle around what you do to where it fits into your daily schedule. So it's like, you know, the yoga, the energy work, the meditation, the breath work, everything is integrated with how you move and maneuver throughout the day.
Yes, yes, sir, man. A few years ago, I used to go to work, man, and not necessarily be the happiest person. Oh, man, why I got to come here? Why I got to do this? Why I got to be here? Why I got to be around these people? Now, I applied for the job now, but that was my mindset. Fast forward to the day, I come to work, whatever comes is come. I'm ready for it. I'm happy. Instead of being at work and watching a Netflix movie here or there, or being on social media the whole time, now I'm watching videos like yourself. I'm reading a book. I'm trying to research my next steps. You know, it's literally a whole lifestyle change. You can't have one foot in your old life and one foot in the new life. You got to clean house, man. Kind of like Shiva did. You got to be chaos and destroy everything. Because if you're too tied to your old life, there's no room for the new life. So you can ask all you want for the new life to come, but it can't. But be careful when you ask for the new life to come. You might ask for wealth and abundance, and then you might get fired from your job. And a lot of people, oh, shit, well, the universe hates me. That job couldn't pay you what you was worth.
Right.
So the universe got you out of there because you wouldn't leave. You just complained at the job for the last 5 years. So the universe was going to be there another 5 years, so it had to push you off a cliff. It happens. So people just have to be observant and aware of their environments.
Yeah.
But like, you can't have one foot in your old life and one foot in the new life.
I like that.
And you have to really connect with the people that acknowledge your transition and see it. And truly, no matter if you're not even in their life anymore, they want to see you have the best life possible. Yeah.
People who want to see you shine, you know, and people who shine with you. Like the way that you shine, you know, you giving so many others the permission to shine themselves. When they see the light within you, it's a reflection of the light within them. Like that's how we see that light shine so bright, you know. So, man, I'm loving this talk so much, brother. It's like when you touched on earlier, and also to touch on the point that you just made, being careful what you ask for. You know, because you're gonna get it. It's coming. You know? Careful what you ask for to come, because it's coming.
You get that certain frequency, you're gonna start manifesting stuff, and you're gonna notice. Man, I was just thinking about that person and that call. All of a sudden, everybody has had that experience. But when you start talking about certain things and then they just drop off, or even like, I buy books all the time. I got like 30 books I've bought in the past like few months.
Yeah.
I've skimmed a few of them. I've read all the way through maybe 3 of them. But I get in certain points of time in my life and I'm just like, man, I need something right now. And I look over and it's a book that I bought last year, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, and it has everything that I need. So like I said before, once you're on the path, man, you're going to start manifesting stuff and you're not even going to see it. As far as concerned, that's time traveling. You knew you were going to need something in the future, so you got it now. And when you needed it, it was right there for you. Yeah. But manifestations start happening faster and faster and faster the higher your vibratory rate goes, man.
It's like you said, Liseli, it could be right there in front of you, you know, the whole time, and you never even realized it was always there, but you just weren't aware.
Your perspective changes.
Go ahead.
Your perspective changes.
Right.
You can look at the same thing and see a totally different thing.
Right.
Or you can see it a different way, and I converse with you, and I might still see it my way, but now that the simple fact that I know there's another way to look at it, now that's a new connection through my synapses. So now my brain could get to the same path, the destination, by 2 different pathways. That's a beautiful thing, and that's the most important thing on this whole path, is just having a different perspective. And like you said before, we are all one consciousness. So if you know something, I know it too. It's that simple. Yeah. Now, if I choose to change my perspective on it, that's the work I have to do for myself. And if it resonates with me or not.
Right, right. Man, it's something really came to me earlier, and it was for somebody that I admire and respect. And it was going along the lines that you said, Liseli, about being careful what we wish for. The things that we are always manifesting. The law of attraction is always in action. And to attract, we must take action. That's, half of attraction is action. So they said that there are two tragedies in life. One is not getting what you want, and the other is getting it.
That's a word. That's a word.
You never know, like, that it could be a blessing in disguise to not receive your desires in the time that you thought was divine. You thought that was divine time, like, I want it now, like, and it didn't come. But that could have been a blessing in disguise, Oh,
it always is. A lot of times in those moments, we're not ready for that blessing because we wouldn't be good stewards of the blessing. You have to be a good steward of your energy and everything around you. And if you're not ready for that, the person's not going to give it to you. Because what you're going to do, waste it, and then you might get down on yourself for wasting that, and then you might fall into a depression and a whole stumble back down the hill. So you don't get everything you want when you want it. You get it when you're ready for it.
Yeah, it's like they say, we don't attract what we want. We attract what we are.
Yes. Yes.
It's being pulled into your gravitational field because of the work that you've done, on yourself. You change, so the world changes around you due to the changes, like our perspective, our perception, everything on every level. So when you said, Liseli, and you talked about lightening up, creating more space internally for more things to come in. So it's like the lighter we get, the more light comes in. And you were working on both sides. So as you were lightening up your diet and you were doing more with the D3, with the sunlight, sun gazing, you were able to receive that light because you created that space internally.
Yep. Another thing I tell people, you can't take a full breath with a full stomach either.
Okay.
You can't breathe in the amount of life you need into you if all your organs are full and sick. Okay. So people take that as they will, but the lighter you become, and that's not to say people have to change their diets. And I know a lot of plant-based people and vegans gonna be mad at me, but I meet people where they are now. If you want to eat certain things, that's perfectly fine.
Right.
But optimize it. Intermittent fast. Don't eat, so late before you go to bed. Detox. Drink enough water to flush it out of your system. Get all the toxins out of your system. Get massages. Get your lymph nodes and your lymphatic system massaged. But yeah, man, like the more energy I cultivated, the more the sun. You're getting higher. You're getting closer to the sun, basically. Yeah. Because the sun is a step-down transformer from another dimension. So the higher you get, the more it's going to resonate with you, the more information you're going to be able to take in, just like anything else. And I have a beautiful relationship with the sun now. I mean, I can walk outside, it could be totally cloudy. Next thing you know, the clouds part, and then the sun is shining on me. Thank you, sun. I appreciate it. So I have a beautiful relationship with the sun now. So
the light is on you. The light is on you, brother.
Man, this universe, once you start interacting with it and getting back in touch with nature, which is why I tell people to ground every day, man, you will start to see amazing things happen in your life. Because we've been so detached from nature. Most of us work inside under, artificial lights in little cubicles and stuff, not with our family, around people we love. When you get off, some people it's dark already. They don't want to do anything. They're tired, they're drained because you gave all your energy to the corporate America world. All you want to do is sit on a couch potato and watch some TV that's going to program you and desensitize you to everything. And then next thing you know, you wake up and you're 65 and you're supposed to retire and live life, but now you're sick and you can't even enjoy the last 10, 15 years of your life. So I can't do that life.
Yeah, I remember hearing Ralph Smart talk about how we're being programmed and we're changing, like we're tuning in to to the different channels, and it's broadcasting, you know,
Yep.
broadcasting spells, and the tell live vision, telling
Yes.
lies to you visually, you know, telling a vision that we're receiving. And so it was like, wow, like the etymology of all these words, it just made it so, it was like, it's so obvious. You know? Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. People, like, we don't really understand, like, we think the English language, it's called spelling for a reason.
Right.
But we've been conditioned to think that sentences and, you know, are make up a complete thought. In the English language, every word has its own meaning, has its own frequency, has its own importance.
Yeah.
So we really, like, I'm so glad you said etymology. I just got me an etymology dictionary a few months ago. And when you really truly go in and see the root of these words and what they actually mean and not how we use them, you will be so shocked and surprised at what we're saying to each other. We're truly cursing each other a lot of the time, and I mean that in a very serious way.
Like putting hexes on each other.
Curse words. I'm not talking about curse words. I'm talking about we're cursing each other.
Like putting a hex on somebody?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I mean, telling people they ain't, I'm sorry, excuse my language, but telling somebody they're not going to be anything or they're not shit. Oh, you know, just talking down on people. We're literally putting curses on a lot of people's lives. And that's why a lot of times you can't share your information or your next steps with the world and with certain people, because even them thinking, oh, I hope that don't work out for them. That will sometimes stop your blessings and stop what you have, because energy is real. Energy is very real. But I implore people to really get an etymology dictionary and really start diving into some of these words that we use on a daily basis. And I'm not even going to get into like the law and Queen's English and the King's English, because when you go in the courtroom, the words we use every day, it has a totally different meaning over there. The same exact word. So it's very deep, man. This matrix was designed very beautifully. It's running exactly how it wanted to. But we just have to unlock the code, which is ourselves, and understand that this avatar body that we are in is the greatest piece of technology. That's why everything outside of us is based off the body.
Yes.
This camera looking at me is based off the eye. The speaker is based off the ear, you know? Like, everything that in the world is based off of us. So if we learn how to tap into this body and really optimize it, man, you get to control your reality in the movie that you are starring in.
Wow. Wow. That's taking your power back.
Hell yeah. Because everybody has that feeling on the inside, like something's just not right. I should be doing something, you know, a little bit more important. What's my purpose? What's my path? But then we get frustrated because we don't know necessarily how to step into finding out and learning that. So then we desensitize ourselves and numb ourselves with alcohol, drugs, sex, and porn, and food. Man, people just don't understand how addicted we are to food, man. Like, for real, like on a very serious level. I didn't know until, like I said, I got pushed off a cliff and I couldn't eat certain things anymore. But it's just wild to see people who are like gluttonous and like, you know, overweight, malnutrition, talking about drug addicts, you know, being dope fiends, when you only eating that bag of chips so you get a dopamine release in your head. You only eating a Snickers bar because you getting a dopamine release. Like, that, the gluttonous people are the true dope fiends in this world. So it's like the whole world is backwards, man.
Yeah. I didn't know either. You know, that's a big thing. You know, to come to that realization on your own and to come to your understanding. You know, like they say with Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, the AA meetings. I think the first step is admitting that you have an addiction.
Yep.
That's the first step. Step one is to admit, to come into acceptance and the awareness that something is there that's not supposed to be there. You know, I'm doing something's not right about that. And it's like, hi, I'm Jerome Shaw, you know, I'm an addict, you know, hi, Jerome, you know? And so it's like that first step puts you on that path, you know what I'm saying, to that redemption, to that healing journey. And I think the 12th step, the last one, is to reach down and help somebody else, you know, to bring somebody else. And if you don't do that 12-step, a lot of people go back into the cycle because they didn't turn around and grab their brother, grab their sister, grab somebody else, and you know, lift them up. Because as we lift up others, we too are lifted.
Correct.
Yeah.
The more you heal yourself, you're helping heal people. You know, I hate saying behind you, but that aren't at the same level you are.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. But that's a lot of times, and that's, I kind of hit on it a little bit. That's a lot of times the people who don't turn around and try to pick people up. Those are the people who are your fake gurus, people who put themselves on a pedestal, and they try to be the gatekeepers of certain information, just so they can have people underneath them at some level, so that they can feel powerful. But the true power is being of service to people. The true power is really having empathy and compassion with people, and really understanding where people are and giving them that love and letting them know they're not alone. And that's why conversations like this is so beautiful, because I think the disconnect a lot of time between men and women, the generations, different races, is we don't communicate. And that's why I love traveling as well, because the more you go around this world and see different people and different cultures, you're like, oh shit, it's the same. You just over here. But what I seen on TV when I was little, it's nothing like that. Like, you're not like what I saw on TV. But if you in your hometown your whole life, you don't ever get that perspective change. So we really have to get out and get out our comfort zone. And that's another big thing with spirituality. You got to learn to be being comfortable in the uncomfortable, because everything you're doing at this point forward is new to you. Now, don't get me wrong, you're remembering from past lifetimes, but you have to be able to be uncomfortable and adapt. Adaptability is the #1 thing I've seen from people who are successful in old age and people who just stay stuck in their own ways. They can't adapt. Oh, I'm this age, so I'm just gonna go with what I've always did my whole life. Okay, that's fine, but the world not gonna wait for you.
Right.
I mean, the frequency of the world is raising right now. So I mean, the world is changing itself. It ebbs and flows, just like us. Everything in the world ebbs and flows. So you have to learn how to take the ups with the downs. I don't like people getting on me too hard when I make a mistake. Just like I don't like them congratulating me too much when I do something good. I'm more of a middle of the road type guy, because I know just as easy I can do something good today, tomorrow I might make a mistake. Are you still gonna love me when I make that mistake though? That's what I need. I need unconditional love around me, and that's what I'm cultivating. But to get unconditional love, you have to give it. Unconditional.
Yes. This is so key. This is so key. You know, that the ebb and flow. And there's an ebb and flow to life. There's an ebb and flow to everything. That's one of the reasons, Liseli, that I love Tai Chi. You know, that's one of the reasons why I love water, and just the relationship that we have with water, how water holds memory, that water is programmable, and we are made of water. You know, there's a large percentage of us that is water. So when you think of water, how adaptable is water? You know, you try to heat it up, it becomes vapor, it becomes steam, it survives, it adapts. You try to cool it down, to freeze it, it becomes ice. It still survives, it adapts. You know, there's nothing you can do to it. You slap it, it just moves out the way and comes back. It survives, you know? So that's like that supreme adaptability that when I think of that, I think of water, that water element, being able to flow with life and grow with life. Yeah.
Man, when I learned about somatics, you know, when they play the higher the frequency they play, you know, the sound, the thought makes more and more complex structures. It's like, at that moment, I was like, oh, well, wait a minute. I'm mostly water. So the higher the frequency I put into myself, the more complex and advanced I'm going to get. Yeah. So that, I mean, you really got to put the things together and understand it, man. Like you said, we're mostly water. So if that brings it back to environment. If you're around an environment where people are yelling and fighting and screaming and being negative, what do you think that's doing to the water and you? Right. But if you're around a whole bunch of loving people and you getting hugs and you sharing information and you exchanging, what you think that's doing to the water in you and the structure in you. Just like everybody goes to the mountains and they're like, oh man, the air in the mountains is so fresh. Yeah, it's true. But they got moisture in the air too. So that's coming into you. So what you think? That's we say things, but we don't even know what we're saying, you know?
Yes.
But we really just have, that's why I say once you're more aware of it, now you know how to navigate. And certain things don't affect you anymore. Like you said, we flowing like the river. We go
Liseli, brother, thank you for speaking on that. And thank you for speaking on the moisture in the air. You know, the moisture that's all around us. I remember a lady told me that if it weren't for the moisture in the air, our lungs would like combust. You know, we couldn't survive without the moisture in the air. So we're kind of like, when you think about it, like fish that don't know that they're in water. You know, like I'm gonna die without water. I can't have water for 3 days. You live in water.
I just tell people when they can't understand it, what air were they breathing when they was in their mother's womb? They weren't. They were breathing liquids. But that's a little bit too much for some people. They can't wrap their head around that. But we are in a fluid. People get liquids and fluids kind of mixed. We are in a fluid. That's why breatharians like yourself are able to do what you do, because you're taking moisture out of the air and your body's taking it in and making water on the inside.
Yeah.
It's that simple. But once you understand the science behind it, everything makes sense. It really does. You just have to take that time out to sit down. But you don't necessarily have to go, and that's another thing. People think you have to read all these books and watch all these videos, go to these conferences and stuff. If you do the inner work and you tap in enough, you will just start having a knowing about certain things. You'll see it, resonate with it, and you'll just know. I have that a lot. Like, I see certain things, I'm like, yes, I understand that. I see it one time, I know how it works. I feel it on the inside. It's an inner knowing.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that what works for Jerome is going to work for Liseli.
Exactly.
Because you're on your own path. Certain things work for you that might not work for me. There might be 90% of the same things that we use that work, you know, for the human avatar, but it might be some that you tweaked for you that don't resonate with me. So I might try it. If it don't work, put it down. But I shouldn't then go back and say, oh, Jerome lied to me. He said this is going to work and change my life. That's negative thinking.
Right.
That's the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish. Thought process, man. Ideology.
That's a great point too. That's a great point too, because you know, everybody is different and everybody is different, you know. So understanding that different things will affect you on different levels. And what works for somebody else might not work for you. You know, somebody else's key might not open the same door for you. So it's like so many different paths up the mountain. You don't have to take somebody else's path to get to the same point, to see the same horizon, to see the same view. You can go up a completely different route and take your path, you know. So that's very important for people to know. And taking it back to the breath as well, when we talk about breath work, and you speak it on how when we are full, we don't feel the full breath, the full capacity. So I'd love to learn, you know, Liseli, what was the time when you really hit the diaphragm? Can you go back to that time when you really felt like, oh wow, this is what it feels like to breathe?
Well, man, when I truly understood that just because your stomach is growling doesn't mean that you're hungry. Right. That's actually your stomach going back to the size it's supposed to be. Very, very, very small. So when we eat, we drink a lot, our stomach has to expand. So do all our other organs, so that they can function and get what we just took inside of us out of us. But once you fast, you start fasting, all your organs get a little bit smaller and they drop down a little bit so that your lungs can fully inflate. And I played music, I played, you know, the marching band, so I've always known how to breathe from my diaphragm. But once I started fasting and I actually understood that, oh, just because my stomach grows, okay, I'm not hungry. It's just going back to the size it's supposed to be. And then you just take that first full breath, man. I'm talking about from your from your navel all the way up to your shoulders. That's how large your lungs can expand. And once you feel that for the first time, man, you'll never, ever, ever, you'll never forget that feeling. Like when I do have a day or two where I eat a little bit heavy, and I try to take a full breath, man, just to feel that pressure on organs, it doesn't even feel natural, man. It really doesn't. And actually, last week at the breathwork retreat that the Black Airbender had, we learned this technique called impulse breathing. So you take a deep breath in, and then you exhale. Okay. But as you exhale, you actually want to pump your stomach out, in, out, and just pulsate it a few times. Okay. And what you're doing is actually creating space and allowing your organs to kind of make space for your next incoming breath. Because when you take a deep inhale, that air is kind of forcing your diaphragm open. But if you learn to create a little bit of space with your breath before it comes in, now you're being a little bit more gentle on your organs, and the air just has more space to allow it to come in. And it's not as harmful. I don't want to say harmful, but it's not as rough on your organs. Yeah. So that was a beautiful technique that we learned. But it was just like, even think, like, I never thought about that. You're inhaling, but it's pushing all your organs down. So just create a little bit of space sometimes with some breath work, and you'll be amazed at the deeper breaths that you can take and the conscious breaths you take throughout the day. That's another thing. People think a lot of time, oh, I don't have enough time to do breath work, and that's fine. Your true breath work is your breath every day. I think we take like 21,000 breaths a day or something like that. Are you consciously breathing all throughout the day? Because if you're taking conscious breaths all day, that's your true breath work. And that's real alchemy right there.
Yeah. So it's not just one session, it's throughout. Like you say, integration, integrate it within your whole day. Yeah.
It just helps you think clearer, man. It helps you make better decisions. If so many people get in trouble and make rash decisions, if they just would have took a few deep breaths and thought about it, their life would be totally different. All of our lives would be totally different. If we just take certain bad environments we were in and bad decisions we made, we just take a few deep breaths and calm down and think. But what you're doing is you get more oxygen to your brain when you take some deep breaths. So now it's operating at a higher level. It's also simple, man. It's very, very simple.
It is, man. It's simple. The truth, like they say, the truth is simple, but humans are complex. Humans are complicated. We like to complicate things that could be so simple. So I could definitely think back to many times in my life where I was in a situation with an individual and we might have been heated, but like you say, it's like we think how we breathe and we breathe how we think. So if I would have just slowed down and just took a few deep breaths, it could have been a whole different outcome. I might not have said what I said. I might not have did what I did.
And a lot of times too, we feel pressured if like people ask us to do certain things or in certain environments. I've learned now if people ask me certain things, I let them know I heard what you said. I'm gonna need some time to think about that.
Yeah, let me breathe on that.
If we're still in proximity with the person, we feel more obligated to oblige. But if you remove yourself and give yourself some time, then you get back in touch with your boundaries. Well, you know what? I'm really not comfortable with that. I'm really not. So then you able to tell that person, you know what? I love you. I wish I could help you out in this situation, but it's really not in alignment with me.
Right.
And if people react negatively to that, to you respecting your boundaries, that might not be somebody you need in your life. Because anybody who truly loves you and truly understands you will respect your boundaries, no matter if that's a detriment to them. The detriment to them.
Yeah, that's one of the most compassionate things we can do for ourselves and for others is to have boundaries. You know? To understand that when somebody comes at you with something, you don't have to say yes.
Nope.
It could be it could be better if you said no, or if you say, like you said, yo, let me take a moment, let me breathe on that. Let me breathe on that for a little bit before I come back with you.
You got to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people, man. For real.
Yeah.
You must.
And self-care is not selfish. You know, I feel like self-care is one of the most selfless things that you can do, because when you do for yourself and you're bettering yourself, you're bettering everyone. You know, everyone benefits from what we do at the soul level. Yeah. Man,
I wouldn't have these kind of conversations when I was drunk and hungover and not waking up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the evening. I wasn't a service to people then. I wasn't helping nobody standing on bars and waving my shirt around the club. I'm not helping nobody. Now I'm out here, you know, having conversations like this. You know, I'm doing Reiki healing. You know, I'm trying to really heal the world, help people heal themselves, man. So now I'm actually being of service. Now I'm stepping in my purpose. And now the universe is giving me more and more what I need to make that happen.
Yeah.
But before, I wasn't ready. So the universe wasn't giving me certain tools and certain things that I needed on my path. But now it is more and more every day with every breath.
Yeah. And you're not just trying, brother. You're doing it. You're doing it in real time, and we are a witness. I'm a witness, and we are seeing like what's coming out, like what's bearing fruit from the root. You change the root, now you change the fruit. Now the results that you get are different because the actions you took were different. So you're on a different direction. You're in a different path. So I love this, man. I love this whole conversation. Liseli, thank you for just coming on here. Thank you for speaking your truth. Thank you for shining your light. Thank you for sharing your story. What a powerful and vulnerable share about the story when, you know, you finding yourself in the hospital and how you got through that, how you changed your whole trajectory, you changed your whole process on every single level. So, man, thank you for the message today. I'm definitely going to be watching this on the replay. Thank you for everyone joining as well. And speaking of being in service, what services do you provide, and where would you like people to find you for those services, whether it be the Reiki services, or I know Gerald had a Reiki session with you as well. Like, could you speak on that?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, my Instagram is esoteric_indulgence. And right now I'm just doing color acupuncture this past week. So I'm gonna be diving into that, and I'm gonna get certified in that. But at this point in my life, man, I'm just trying to learn every different modality to heal people possible, because that's my purpose, man. I want people to be comfortable with. If they're not comfortable with this, okay, I have this for you. If you're not comfortable with that, I can heal you this way.
Yeah.
If we need to talk, that's fine. Let's heal through that way. Yeah. So esoteric_indulgence, man. I've been having great conversations like this in my DMs. I'm an open book. I tell people anything. I listen to anything, and I help people on their path, man. So I'm just excited. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I can't wait to meet you in person. I already know it's going to happen. I've seen it in my head already. It's going to be amazing energy, and I'm just so happy, man. In any way I could, ever, drop some information in or build, help you out in any way, I'm here for it, man. And you've helped me tremendously already on my path. Just want to let you know that you're one of my favorite speakers from the Friday World Fest last year, man, for real.
Awesome, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. We will meet in person, and we will meet in purpose. We'll meet in person and on purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's going to happen, That's how the energy moves. That's how the energy works. And just blessings, brother. Thank you so much. Once again, it's been a pleasure, and we will stay in tune.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed day, sir.
All right. You do the same. Take care. Awesome.